Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And for this film, well, if anyone has not seen it, I will say just don't watch the video, because going into spoilers and stuff, because that's what I usually do my videos are, so, but if anyone hasn't seen it, just don't watch the video. But for this film, I'm going to talk about that is a film that I really enjoy for a film that came out this year. And there has been a couple films, well, more than a couple films I enjoyed this year, but this one I was interested in, and at the end of the day, I really did enjoy this film. It's a horror comedy film, which some comedies and mixed with horror sometimes don't work nowadays. But there's stuff that horror comedies I enjoy, like Shaun of the Dead, and even Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, which I just reviewed not that long ago, and I really love that film a lot. But this film, I would say it's funny and gore at the same time. And it's a film called which I just got recently on DVD, called Cooties. Cooties is it's a film that came out this year. Well, supposedly it came out, from the Sundance Film Festival. Like I said about Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, that came out during the Sundance Film Festival, like in 2010. But then that film came out like a year later, in 2011. But so the same thing here. This came out in Sundance Film Festival in 2014, but they wanted to give it like a release date here this year in 2015. So when the film came out, of course, same thing with Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, given a limited release, so it made very little money. But beside that, though, I really enjoyed this film. It's like I said, it's like a zombie comedy because getting into the story. But first of all, it has two directors, Jonathan Milott and Cary Murnion. If I mispronounce the names, I haven't heard of them though, so they're pretty much new to me though. But even the cast I do enjoy. Stars Elijah Wood and Rainn Wilson. The supporting cast members, we got Alison Pill, Morgan Lilly, Jack McBrayer, Leigh Whannell, he played Adam from the first Saw movie, and which has also been a writer on the Saw films as well, along with director James Wan. Jorge Garcia, famously from starring in the show Lost, he's in this as well. And the cast, I thought the cast did a good job as well, especially for Elijah Wood and mainly Rainn Wilson. Rainn Wilson, he voiced Galaxar in Monsters vs. Aliens. He's also mainly famously known being on the show The Office with Steve Carell. And I liked him in the film as well. And the film, of course, has been mixed reviews. It's like a 43% Rotten Tomatoes. It's a 5.7 on IMDb. But I would give this higher because I really enjoyed this film. And getting to why I like the film, okay, it's basically you have like zombie kids, basically. And how do these kids become zombies? Basically, that well, first off, how the film opens up is well, maybe it's kind of like disturbing, or I would say, or maybe a little bit gross. Best way to put that, if you're eating something, it's best not to watch the opening scene when you're eating, basically, because it opens up with the poultry farm with the chickens, and how one guy snaps a chicken's neck, and shows how the poultry, how it makes up and stuff, for food and stuff, and shows how it's being made into chicken nuggets. And you see one chicken nugget that has a little bit black and stuff, and it's getting delivered to this school here. and you see a girl eat the tainted chicken nugget. That's what basically it is. It's a tainted chicken nugget, and that's how pretty much it all starts. And Elijah Wood, he's a substitute teacher. He says it shows first Sam, he's living with his mom, and he has like stuff on his he has like a Godzilla action figure on his desk. And you can see he has like a poster of Jaws. And he wants to write this a horror novel, and about this possessed boat, and which that comes in later when he talks to the teachers. So he's a substitute teacher. He goes to the school, and he's in the teacher's lounge, and he's talking with these other teachers. Like one girl, there's a girl that he hasn't seen for a long time because they went to school in the same school. And she has a boyfriend, the PE teacher, played by Rainn Wilson. And when he comes in, when he says that Elijah Wood says he's writing about a book about possessed boat, and I thought it was kind of the line that Rainn Wilson says, "Oh, like Christine, Stephen King's Christine, about the car becomes possessed." And he also mentions about Speed 2, with Sandra Bullock and Jason Patric. A big Jason Patric fan. The Lost Boys. I thought it was kind of funny that he mentions the Lost Boys. Christine. Of course, Speed 2, though. Speed 2 is not that great, though, but the Lost Boys and Christine. And he's in his going to his class, and there's this, especially these two boys, especially the main one named Patriot, because he gets his name because he says, "I was born on 9/11, and when I grow up, I'm going to be a Marine." And then, but he's basically just this asshole kid, basically, and he gets the giving shit about to the girl who ate that tainted chicken nugget. When he pulls her hair, it's like just pulls right off, blood bit right there, and then he goes and bites that kid on the face, and then he becomes infected, and then he wanders around. Goes and starts clawing at the kids in the playground, and they all become infected, and they eat this one guy, and then there's the vice principal, like, Elijah Wood says, give me your cell phones, because we have this rule about no cell phones. He goes out there, and he gets torn to bits, and that's like, oh, wow. Kids just tear this vice principal off, very gory way, just tears off an arm, and rips his guts out and stuff. So it's definitely R rated, which I appreciated. It definitely does well in the R rated with gore and stuff, and then they find that the kids, like Rainn Wilson, he's out there playing basketball. He goes like, what the fuck? And then he goes and runs inside the school. He's like tackles goes and tackles the kids aside to run inside, and so they're running, and they hide in one room, and he says he finds something he needs like a weapon. He goes and pulls out a violin and says, "Elijah was a violin," and Rainn Wilson goes, "No, this is a sympathy of death." And I like this little line that they says to Elijah Wood. He says, "What do you it was I forget what the line was, but he references something that was like The Hobbit." Goes to, of course, Elijah Wood from The Lord of the Rings. I thought it was he mentions like you're like a hobbit or something, not like you're a hobbit or something, and which it's not the exact line though, but I forget what that line was. But he mentions like the sentence called involving the Hobbit. I thought it was kind of a funny line to say about, because since Elijah Wood was in The Lord of the Rings, and so I thought it was kind of a funny line as well. And then there's this other kid who is this little kid who's not infected. I guess he can eat the chicken nuggets, and but this kid's also like diabetic, so he needs like sugar and stuff to stay energetic. And they also have this get this other girl, this little girl, who is also not infected, but she has a scratch on her, but she doesn't get affected because how these kids are all zombies, because which I thought was an interesting idea, because whoever eats whoever ate the tainted chicken nuggets will turn to zombie, but it won't affect the ones that, or if it won't affect adults or other kids that have reached puberty. So that girl is not infected because they ask her Have you? Because Leigh Whannell, as his last name is pronounced, he asks have you reached puberty. And he says, "Do I need to know? Do I need to tell?" So she's not affected because she gone through puberty. But but even like Elijah Wood, he gets scratched too. But he is not affected because he's an adult. But he gets sick though. He's like vomiting and stuff. So he's he's infected, but he doesn't turn into a zombie. It'll just make him sick, like with the flu. And Leigh, well, like he's like he explains all this, how this is a virus, and like a couple of the jokes that like his thing, like he explains that he got something lodged into his brain. That's why he like speaks like weirdly. That he keeps telling people quiet, 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 even though they're not there, even though they are being quiet. But he still says quiet, please. But overall, I liked Leigh Whannell. I think I still can't pronounce his last name though, but I liked him. I don't think he was not that bad at all. Even the other cast members, I don't think they were not that bad at all. Especially, I like Rainn Wilson and Elijah Wood. So there was when they're on the roof and they see first there's a cop there and he sees a kid. He gets his fingers bit off. He goes to his cop car, but there's one in the back seat, so he kills him. Or another thing, which I caught was kind of like made me go like oh shit, you know, and just like one of the parents comes by to pick up their kid. Of course she has the headphones, so she's not listening or paying attention. The kid gets in. She has a baby in the back seat, and the kid attacks the baby, and then that baby becomes infected, because you don't see the kid attack the baby though, because it's focusing on the mom from the on the rear view mirror. But then you see they get attack it. You see the baby has like blood on its mouth and attacks the mom. It's like holy shit. It's just like that was kind of like I would say a ballsy thing, because especially when in situations with a baby and when you're involving a baby, I was like, oh shit, you know. The kid infects the baby and they start attacking the mom. It's like, holy crap. It's like, I thought that was kind of like, it's funny though. That's because that's why it's horror comedy, but it's funny at the same time. It's always like, oh shit, you know. It's just, I would say that's kind of a ballsy thing to do, especially when you're involving a baby. So, it's just, that's why I'm having fun with the film. It's just, I like the characters, some of the humor I liked, and especially it's gory, it's R-rated. So they're then eventually the lights go out, and they need one of the kid that is diabetic. They want to give him a snack so he can, you know, be energetic again. And like there's this, they go into the vents, and there's this infected child riding a tricycle with this weird messed up song of "Pop Goes the Weasel." Messed up version of the song. And so then eventually they all gear up, and then you know, like what Rainn Wilson says, you know, where it was like Commando and all those 80s action films where they suit up. This is this moment. So they gear up, and they like Rainn Wilson has this thing where they shoot at baseballs, hits a couple of kids in the face, and there's also they all joins the group as this Asian janitor. He has like he pops up a broomstick, and he has like sort of like swords, I think, and he's like getting all the children around him, and but then they get into the Rainn Wilson's truck, which there's this thing where he has trouble saying the word he can't pronounce the name. It's because his truck has his two wheelers in the back, extra two sets of wheels in the back, so he has trouble saying that. So he stayed behind to make sure they all get away. As they're driving, they drive to the next town. There's dead bodies there, so it's like such a serious virus, and they learn it's from all because of the chicken nuggets, all these tainted chicken nuggets that's affecting all these children. So, and then and before they get into the town, there's that asshole kid, Patriot that was given crap out before. I like this scene where first he's on top of the car. He hit the Elijah Wood's driving, hits the brakes. He goes and just drags on the pavement. And when he turns around, that he has his jaws like dangling. I believe if that was practical, that was really good though. Like he has like his jaws like dangling like this, and and then and Elijah Wood goes and puts it in reverse and just gets that kid hooked up to the rear of the truck and then slams right into a tree. I like that. You know, that kid got what he deserved. So, and then when they get to the next town, they get chased more by the children. They get into this building. It's like this birthday party place, and then when they get in the main room and the lights turn on, it's like one of those what do I call it? It's like it's like a bouncy playground. It's like what that player you find in Chuck E. Cheese and stuff. Those kind of places. The playground, like the tunnels and stuff, and nets and bouncy stuff. I forget what the kind of playground that is called though, but it's that kind. And Rainn Wilson, he shows up, and the Asian janitor, he's alive still. They're all running through the playground to get to the van, which drove by Jorge Garcia, because it cuts to him once in a while because he's like the crossing guard, and most of the time he spends his time in the van, like he's eating like mushrooms. Sorry about that cut there. Camera cut off again, so I apologize for that cut there. But as I was saying, Jorge Garcia, he's the crossing guard. Once it all cuts to him in his van, he's just watching this whole thing. So, but he helps gets everyone out at the end to get into his van, while Rainn Wilson, he's soaking all the kids with the super soakers filled with gas. Elijah Wood says, "We can do with water's not gonna do anything," and he says, "It's not water." And I like the funny line he says, "I was like, I give you all an F for fuck you." And as he lets the match, he goes, puts on the glasses and goes, "Nap time, motherfuckers." Sets them all on fire. And then they all drive off, and that's it. I really enjoy this film. I thought it was kind of funny. It was gory, and it definitely holds up in the R rating. Elijah Wood and Rainn Wilson, I think they both did a really good job. The rest of the cast, they do fine as well. They were not that bad at all, but especially mainly for Elijah Wood and Rainn Wilson, I really did enjoy. I liked Rainn Wilson. He has a little jealousy thing because he thought Elijah Wood was like because like in his girlfriend, which is the girl that Elijah Wood knew when they were kids, though. But and like when he kills one kid with a fire extinguisher, you see that he's taking it all in. That he actually killed a kid, and there's like blood all over him, and he's taking some time to soak that in, and he was not a complete over the top asshole like usually sometimes that happens. But he was not completely over the top. He gains what he has and comes forth and stuff, and so I was fine with that. At least he was not an over the top complete asshole like usually in films like that are. So I was glad for that. He has some funny lines, a lot of funny lines that I liked him, especially with him and Elijah Wood. And although I would have liked to see more in the that playhouse, because that looked like an interesting place, to have a fight with the zombie kids back and forth inside that place. I would love to see them. I'd love to see more, because that's like I think it was like kind of an interesting place, to fight the zombie kids and stuff. But if I have fun with that, if I have fun with the film, I will let that go, because the it's gory and the humor I liked, and Other than that little thing, though, I have no problems with the film. Other than that little nitpick, though, but about the things, though. But I enjoy this film. I would definitely put this in my favorite films of this year for sure. What I would say, do I enjoy Tucker and Dale versus Evil more than this film? Yes. Do I enjoy, compared to like horror comedies like zombies like this, like do I like Shaun of the Dead more than this? Yes, but but I'm not belittling this film not one little bit because I really do enjoy this film. I had fun with the film. It's definitely my favorite films of this year for sure. But I enjoy Elijah Wood, even though some of the films that I recently I've seen him in, like the Maniac remake. I surprised I like that remake. That's another remake I didn't mention because but I like Elijah Wood in that film. Open Windows I have not seen, but I wanted to get that film a look though. When I forget if it's out on DVD, I forget. But if not though, but I want to give that film a look. But Elijah Wood, he's been impressing me. He's been impressing me. You know, doing these kind of horror thriller films, and so I'll have to I haven't got Maniac on DVD though, but I've seen it before. But I want to get that on DVD, and I haven't when I forget when Open Windows. If it's out on DVD, I'll get that too because I'm interested to see Elijah Wood in that film. But I think Elijah Wood. I think he did a really good job, and so did Rainn Wilson. So yeah. Feature has some features. Has a cast and crew audio commentary, extended deleted scenes, catching Cooties, alternate ending with also optional commentary. But I like this film. I think it's a fun, entertaining horror comedy film. I'll put this like this on like with Tucker Dale versus Evil, even though I enjoy that film more though. But in the same category with those, because for horror comedies like this, with Tucker Dale versus Evil, I would enjoy that film more though. But I'll put this on the list with that film though. So anyway, yeah, Elijah Wood did a good job. The Rainn Wilson did a good job. I like the humor, the gore. Definitely holds up in the R rating. The rest of the cast, I thought they did a good job as well. Especially some of the music, I thought was pretty decent. Especially there's ones with the messed up "Pop the Goes the Weasel" song. But in the score, and the directing, I thought was good. I think these two directors here did a pretty good job directing, and even Elijah Wood helped produce the film, and Leigh Whannell, like he just whoops. Slipped out of my hands again. And again. As I was saying, Leigh Whannell, or when I can pronounce it, the guy who played Adam from Saw, that he did a screenplay like he did on the other Saw films as well. But yeah, Cooties. If anyone hasn't seen Cooties, definitely check this film out. I would recommend it, but if you don't like it, it's fine. But I would definitely let people check out this film, Cooties. Especially I like the interesting, especially with an interesting idea how they became like zombie children by eating but first all start from from the tainted chicken nuggets, and then the idea that it only affects the ones who have not reached puberty. I thought that was kind of a cool, interesting idea, almost like an original idea. I think about it. That's not like an idea I haven't heard of. So yeah, I thought it was like a cool, interesting idea, and I would say like an original idea. I think it was like the most original idea I've seen this year, like Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and other ones that I thought kind of have cool, interesting ideas as well. So yeah, that kind of aspect. That's another reason why I like the film. But anyway, that'll be it. On Cooties. Like I said, if anyone's seen it, check it out. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.